What happens when a country's defense strategy turns into a guessing game? For Malaysia, the search for new fighter jets has been a series of dead ends, from failed helicopter leases to the much-hyped Kuwaiti F-18 deal that never took off. Now, Malaysia is turning its eyes towards Sweden's Gripen, a jet known for its flexibility, affordability, and European pedigree. But behind the headlines, deeper questions remain. Why Gripen? Why now? And what does it reveal about Malaysia's defense priorities? Talking all over the place, that's exactly how Malaysia's defense shopping list looks right now. One moment, it's about Kuwaiti F-18s. The next, it's helicopters from Brunei. And just when you think the story is over, a new twist enters the plot. This time, Malaysia is reportedly planning to lease Gripen fighter jets from Sweden. But let's pause here. Isn't it strange how Malaysia's defense decisions often leave its own people scratching their heads? The announcements come and go like episodes of a never-ending soap opera, full of suspense, promises, and sudden cancellations. Take the Black Hawk deal, for example. At one point, Malaysia wanted to lease them from Brunei. That plan collapsed. Then came the buzz about second-hand F-18 Hornets from Kuwait. Everyone thought, finally, some progress. But that too slipped away. And now, out of nowhere, Malaysia's eyes are set on the SAAB Gripen, a jet that has built a reputation across the world for being affordable, flexible, and surprisingly powerful. So the big question is this finally Malaysia's breakthrough, or just another chapter in a long-running saga of failed defense deals? Let's dig deeper.
Whoa, what kind of drama is this? Malaysia's fighter jet story keeps throwing twists at us. Here's what really happened. The Ministry of Defense, MINDEF, decided to pull the plug on its plan to buy second-hand F-18 Hornets from Kuwait. Officially, they say it's all about ensuring air defense readiness and protecting national sovereignty. Sounds good, right? But behind that explanation lies a bigger game. Canceling the Kuwait deal opened the door wide for international aerospace and defense companies. Suddenly, Malaysia has become a golden hunting ground, a place where global players can showcase their best offers, hoping to grab a slice of the lucrative defense market. From an economic perspective, that doesn't sound too bad. After all, competition means better deals, more options, and opportunities for Malaysia's own industry to benefit from technology transfers. But the real question remains unanswered. What aircraft will actually replace the failed F-18 plan? Will the Royal Malaysian Air Force settle for an interim solution, a stopgap fighter before its full transformation program takes off? If so, leasing could once again be on the table. Remember, leasing isn't new for Malaysia. Just look at the helicopter deal. 28 transport choppers were leased, and the government praised it as a smart long-term decision. Why? Because the package covered everything: operations, maintenance, even insurance. No hidden costs, no messy surprises. Simple, flexible, transparent. Could the same logic now apply to fighter jets? That's the suspense. Malaysia may be looking at Gripen not as a permanent fleet, but as an interim solution, a bridge to something bigger in the future.
Now here's where things get really interesting. On the table today is a unique offer from SAAB, Sweden's famous aerospace giant. Their pitch? Lease the Gripen fighter jet. And here's the kicker. This isn't a new idea. In fact, SAAB had already offered Malaysia this exact option nearly 15 years ago, back when they were competing for the big MRCA contract. But at that time, Malaysia passed. Today, the offer is back, and the timing couldn't be more relevant. If you look around the world, you'll see why this matters. Take the Czech Republic. For 20 years, they've been loyal SAAB customers. Their Air Force leased Gripens to replace outdated Soviet-era MiG-21s. But SAAB didn't just hand over the keys and walk away. During the lease, they actively upgraded those jets, boosting their combat power step by step. The result? The Czech Air Force stayed modern, capable, and combat-ready, all without burning through its budget. And recently, the Czechs even extended their Gripen lease for another 10 years, before eventually moving on to the F-35. That's proof. Leasing Gripens works as a reliable stopgap solution, a bridge into the fifth-generation era. Hungary's story is just as telling. Back in 2006, they leased 14 Gripens. And here's the smart twist. According to the contract, those aircraft will actually become Hungary's property once the lease ends in 2026. Last year, Hungary doubled down, adding 4 more aircraft to their fleet, bringing the total to 18. Why? To stay strong in combat capability, without pushing defense spending over the edge. So, what does this mean for Malaysia? Simple. Leasing Gripens might not just be a temporary fix, but a strategic move that balances defense readiness with financial realism. Around the world, leasing is becoming a popular model, especially during times of military transition, restructuring, or when budgets are tight. For Malaysia, which has already experimented with helicopter leasing, the Gripen could be the perfect interim solution, keeping the skies secure while buying time for a bigger, longer-term defense transformation.
But SAAB's offer doesn't stop at fighter jets. This is where things get even more strategic. Alongside the Gripen, SAAB also produces airborne early warning and control aircraft, AEW&C, which they once pitched to Malaysia as part of a package deal. Imagine if the lease agreement included those radar aircraft as well. That would be a game changer. Because today, AEW&C isn't a luxury add-on anymore. It's a core requirement for any serious air defense system. Fighter jets without airborne radar support are like swords without eyes. This is exactly why the leasing model makes sense. Just as we saw in the Czech Republic and Hungary, leasing doesn't just provide jets. It comes with structured training, maintenance support, and often technology transfers. It's cost-efficient, yes, but more importantly, it builds a stronger, more organized system around the aircraft. And that's what Malaysia needs right now: structure, readiness, and affordability, all at once. Remember, MINDEF has already taken steps in this direction. The Hawk 208s are being replaced under the LCA/FLIT program, with South Korea's FA-50M as the chosen light fighter. But until that program matures and expands, there's still a gap that leasing Gripens could fill. Think of it as a bridge, a stopgap measure that keeps Malaysia's skies secure today while the long-term procurement pipeline slowly delivers tomorrow. If, and this is a big if, the leasing program is handled transparently with clear operational goals, it won't just save Malaysia. It will also accelerate combat readiness, giving the Royal Malaysian Air Force a fighting edge at a time when regional air power competition is heating up faster than ever.
At the same time, let's not forget, opportunities for Malaysia's own defense industry are wide open. Every new deal, especially with companies like SAAB, brings the potential for collaboration, training, and technology transfer. In theory, nobody really loses. The country strengthens its air defense, the local industry gains experience, and foreign partners secure new contracts. It's a win-win on paper. But then again, Malaysia has a way of keeping its people guessing. Every new announcement, every sudden cancellation, every dramatic twist, it leaves the public clapping in disbelief, shaking their heads, and waiting for the next episode. Because honestly, that's what it feels like, a defense procurement soap opera with no clear ending. From the failed attempt to lease Blackhawks from Brunei, to the collapsed plan of buying Kuwait's F-18s, and now the surprising idea of leasing Gripens. The story just keeps unfolding like a TV series with an unpredictable plot. Will this finally be the turning point, or just another cliffhanger that ends in frustration? All we can do is watch, analyze, and hope. Hope that this time Malaysia makes a decision that sticks. Hope that the Gripen deal doesn't just add another layer of drama, but actually delivers results. Because in today's world, air defense isn't a luxury, it's survival. So let's see what happens in the next episode of Malaysia's fighter jet saga. So, will Malaysia finally break the cycle, or is this just another cliffhanger? We'll find out soon enough. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and don't forget to subscribe to ViperJet Wings for more real defense analysis and aviation insights.